Just about anything to do with Guam, I keep an eye on it. It is so important for our military defense, especially with the heightened tensions with China. There was a strong magnitude 5.1 earthquake. It occurred in the North Pacific Ocean, about 85 kilometers or 53 miles from Guam, in the evening, their time. They're a day ahead of us. June 13th, Thursday, at 8:23 p.m. local time. Hi everyone, I'm Mary with MaryGreeley News. Thank you for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe. The quake had a very shallow depth of 30 kilometers or 19 miles and was felt by many near the epicenter. The shallow depth of the quake caused it to be felt more strongly near the epicenter than a deeper earthquake of similar magnitude would. Guam lies near the Mariana Island archipelago, which shares its name with the Mariana Trench. That's drawn out in red here. Let me bring this out. It is the deepest point in the Earth's crust. Right there is the location of that earthquake. As the largest island of that archipelago, Guam stretches 30 miles or 50 kilometers from northeast to southwest. It has fields, forests, settlements, and military bases. There are two prominent airstrips running northeast, southwest, one of the northeastern tip of the island and the other in central Guam. Let's check this out. There's one there. And there's always the threat of tsunami. There's the other one. There was a 7.7 earthquake that threatened Guam with a tsunami. And we'll bring this in a little bit more. Just a couple hundred miles from the island, the ocean gets much deeper. Guam is the closest landmass to the Mariana Trench, which dips down about 6.8 miles or 11 kilometers. The deepest point at the planet's surface. Only 2 humans have ever made the submarine dive into the trench. That would be in 1950, Lieutenant Don Wash of the U.S. Navy and scientist Jacques Piccard descended some 3,795 feet, down to the Challenger deep in the trench. There was no tsunami warning from this earthquake, the 5.1. And here are some of the felt reports that were sent in to USGS. Here we got 5 responses. Intensity level 2, light shaking. Santa Rita, there was 1 response, a little bit stronger shaking. Intensity level 3. And another one, intensity level 2. Now, intensity level 3 means it was noticeably felt indoors, but it might not have been recognized as an earthquake. Standing automobiles rocked slightly, vibration like a passing truck. As for intensity level 2, felt by a few people at rest, especially if they were on the upper floors of a building. Delicate suspended objects may have been swinging. No reports were sent in to EMSC, so really don't know what they felt. More people in detail, what they might have saw, or the direction or the duration of the earthquake. And here on the Boy Center, you can see there's nothing going off, but they don't really have that much in that location. USGS does say there is a chance of an aftershock of a 3.0 or greater of 65%. A 22% chance of a 4.0. Now this is for the next week. And maybe for a magnitude 5, a 4 percentage. Or, there's always a chance of a 6, but that is less than 1%. Currently, the USS Ronald Reagan is among 8 warships in the Philippine Sea, as the U.S. military is having a drill there. It's going on for about 2 weeks. Codename Valiant Shield. Japan is included in this drill for the first time. The drill began on Friday and will end on June 18th. It does bring together all 6 arms of the U.S. military for drills on or near Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands, and Palau. Actually, that might be pronounced Palau. Yeah, sorry about that. Altogether, there's going to be about 4,000 troops, 8 vessels, and 60 aircraft during this drill. Training includes maritime interdiction, counter-air operations, and anti-submarine warfare, intelligence surveillance, reconnaissance, and command and control, according to one of those directors that's in charge. Did you hear, too, how Russia, just recently, within the last couple hours, fired off a missile off the east coast of the United States? Guam is very important for our missile defense, actually for all of our defense. The U.S. military is also planning on holding or starting live fire missile defense tests for the island over the next decade. The mayor of the island wrote that he was troubled over the plans for the residents near the land-based test site. He said he was especially concerned about any impacts on landowners, including the possibility of the need to evacuate their property during the testing. The U.S. government did put out an environmental assessment, but he was concerned about 2 passages from the environmental assessment paper that raised the possibility of evacuation. Out of an abundance of caution, the department may require some landowners on the boundaries of Anderson remain away from their properties during test events to ensure their safety, one passage read. The second passage stated in part, the proposed action may result in the temporary and public and private land access restrictions in the vicinity of Anderson. And I want to try and go to that location here on Google Earth. So this is the area where they may demand that the public evacuate their land, and they could possibly be held away from their lands for 4 days. The tests that they're planning to hold would only happen maybe 1 to 2 times a year, supposedly. And these tests are going to last for about 10 years. Other things that concerns me about Guam is the Chinese government hacks on the island. You remember that back in May of last year? These hacks could hamper U.S. response to an invasion of Taiwan. You might remember it was called Volt Typhoon. That all started here on the island of Guam. Chinese hacker had found a dangerous vulnerability in the U.S. military computer networks, nearly 8,000 miles from the Pentagon, on the serene South Pacific island of Guam. They attacked essential infrastructures in the military outpost. Like I said, that was May of 2023. And the hackers evidently had lingered undetected, for months, or was it a year? I can't remember. Residents on the island of 170,000 people, about 20,000 of those are U.S. military personnel. They felt the effects of that hack. Actually, at the same time, Guam was hit by 2 simultaneously gut punches. There was a Category 4 typhoon that made landfall on the island, and that was on the same day that Microsoft warned that Chinese government hackers had infiltrated critical networks, including those used to communicate with the mainland. They had infiltrated the water, the power, sewage systems, probably just about everything, not just communication. Now, that Category 4 typhoon knocked out power, water, and all the utilities, including internet. And it was a double whammy when not only did they have the physical effect of the storm, but they had the cyber attacks. Microsoft's report made it clear the seriousness of cyber threats facing Guam's network, detailing how Chinese state-sponsored hacking group Bolt Typhoon had targeted unnamed critical infrastructures organizations on the island, including those in the communication, maritime, and government sectors. Yeah, so when there's even earthquakes, I mean, we do know that they have the technology to create earthquakes. Yeah, this is serious. This is why I keep an eye on what's going on with Guam. Yeah, you just don't know. Was the 5.1 another test for their earthquake making capabilities? I don't know. It was fairly shallow. So what are your thoughts? Put your comments down below. Please like, please share. Make sure you're still subscribed. And if you have any suggestions or thoughts, put it down below. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.